Alright, I'm back with another video. It's going to be my first ranked video. I've already done 2 ranked games, but they were quite a while ago, and I lost both of those, so I was in a bit of trepidation doing this, but I've been practicing 1v1s, so I'm not completely unprepared. The first time I did any ranked games, I kind of got rolled, so that's why I was so fearful. And this guy was a corporal, so right off the bat, I was a little bit upset. The matchmaking isn't very good in Red Dragon. You can get matched with people who are way out of your league. But that's mostly because they don't have many people playing ranked, so it's really difficult to match up with someone your level. It's just more like, here's someone else who also wants to play. Here you go. You can play now. So Mudfight, let's talk a bit about the map. The contested zones are right here across the middle, really, with Foxtrot usually going to red, and Charlie usually going to blue. Delta and Alpha are usually the contested zones. I'm just going to pause this just for a second. This town here is very important, and the meta, or not so much the meta, just what people usually think is this guy's definitely going to get there first. So it's not good for blue to go into the town, because it's difficult to take once they already have infantry there. However, that leads to interesting situations where sometimes they don't put anything there. Or they put very light forces, so if your main force were to go here, you'd have a strong presence all throughout here. Delta's a really hard place to push into because ATGM's galore. Alpha is mostly an infantry zone. Don't usually see tanks pushing into there. The way Bravo usually pushes in isn't down this road here, because Red can usually get to this part faster, I think. I mean, it depends a bit on the transports they're using. But, yeah, so Alpha. Bravo usually will go up through the forest here. At least that's been my experience. And the CV is almost always right here. If you just blind bomb it when there's a CV there, you'll probably get it. Same for Alpha. They usually put it right there. A big part of the game is just putting your CVs somewhere they don't expect. So anyway, taking all that into mind, these are usually the contested zones, but everything here is contestable. What I like to do in this map is do a tank push. I start out with a bunch of cheap recon vehicles there, BRDM 1s. A T-72 BI, that I can play it again, I guess. 2 of those, and a T-90S, and a shit ton of AA. And what I'm going to do is push all the way up into Foxtrot, because they usually don't defend Foxtrot, because no one pushes that. And this game being as much mental as it is anything else, that's where I go, where you don't expect me to go. And of course, I need to hold this area. And I need to not put too many points into it, so what I ended up doing is just a BRDM 3, some recon that I can spam out in a BRDM 1, and some BMPD 3s, kind of fun to say, with VDV in them to defend. I have an Afghansky here in case there's helicopter shenanigans, and I'm going to do my own helicopter shenanigans over there. And we're off. So part of the success... Oh, I also started out with another CV for Charlie. That's something you should generally always do in ranked. Because if you lose your first CV by some kind of shenanigan, like a smirch strike or something, you'll lose the game right away. So you definitely always want a second one. This guy's strat was more or less to come up to the city here with just a few forces, defend it a bit. Light defense over here. And his main force was coming down the road here with some pretty decent tanks. Some AA. I'm not sure what he initially wanted to do with these. I know what he did in-game, and we'll get there. Again, this BRDM 3, it did amazing, as per usual. I'm really starting to love that unit. I really like the BRDM 1s, because they're 10 points, and you can just spam them, and you don't care if they die. All you really want is the vision. Some people like doing early recon helicopters. I prefer these, at least when I'm playing Soviets. Because they're so cheap, they're so fast. Yeah, 150 road speed. 80 off-road speed, so it's generally pretty fast. Right here, because I'm taking fire, I know there's a little something there, but I'm not taking so much fire that I know there's a lot there. Because this is a 10-point unit that has 1 armor, and it took a while for it to die. Also, at this point, I'm buying a PU, a air supremacy aircraft, because I know from experience that the first thing people do when they see a large tank brush is buy an ATGM plane, because they panic. And so I want to be able to counter that. That's also why I have so much AA there. And also AA that I don't have to manage in case I'm looking over here and a plane comes in. So right now I see the T-62. Also, if you want to do this tank push, you see, there it is. It's a 200-point plane. It's coming in. It fires, and it kills an Igla. Gets hit by my other Iglas, and almost taken down there. And he's so damaged, he can't come back in for a while. Now we're engaging the T-62, and there's my PU. Just a little too late to get the kill there, but I do get the kill on the tank there. So right now what's happening is I'm taking a zone that he normally can take, and I'm preventing him from getting it. Not only that, but I'm going to push a CV into it soon, so I get the maximum amount of advantage from this. All he has in his entire zone is that BRDM-3. See, there's my CV going in, and he's responding with infantry. At this point, you can see my BRDM-3 engaging these empty troop transports. It's a BMPT there. So he has the right response to this. He sees I have a huge investment over there, and he's pushing down with his entire force. The only thing I can fault him with here is that this is a very unorganized push. He's just click, drag, everything's going. He should have probed a bit first, done it a little more organized. Because I have VDV here, just waiting, because I knew something like this would probably happen. And VDV are extremely good. Plus the BMD3s here. He's doing good on attacking everything, but... BRDM-3 opening up on an infantry running across an open field here. So at this point, this is a good trade. I've taken Foxtrot. He's looking to completely take Delta, and there's nothing in Charlie right now. He could roll right on through if he can get past my starting forces. So right now, I'm definitely shifting my concern over to this area to prevent his push. And my helicopter is finally getting around to the back lines. This is something I think most people should do, because it gives you a huge advantage if it works. And if it doesn't, eh. The VDV have done a great job here. They killed both of the tanks and the BMPT. So they've neutralized the entire pushing force of this. And I didn't use a single bomber because I saw the Tunguska there. And also I don't think I had the points. But I brought up a tank, so they're not going to be able to push into Charlie. And really, that's not enough to hold all of Delta. And there's nothing in Alpha. So their entire starting force is basically dead. I've pushed up over here now to kill any reinforcements that come in. So they can't even get back into Foxtrot. And I still have my reserve tanks over here. Which sometimes I line up over here so that I can pick off units from either far or away. But the Igla doesn't have terribly good long range, so I don't really want to do that. I just pushed a small force forward here because I didn't know if there was anything in there. I just wanted to see. And now I have a CV over here in Fox, and I have a +2 points lead. You can see it's a very short game. It's not even 9 minutes. Here's my helicopter. Normally I might fly it around and try to kill the CV, but I saw those 3 tanks, and there were 3. It killed 1. And I figured that'd be a better target. I almost killed the OSA, but he ran out of rocket pods there. I think he used all of his missiles trying to kill me. Yeah. Came so close to killing it. Rip. He has 1 bar of health. Amazing. My Spetsnaz grew, I think he knew was there now. Because otherwise there's no explanation for why he moved his tanks, like, right here. And they will get the kill on the Spetsnaz. Yeah, this is a decent spot to put your CV. This is my favorite spot to put it. Because if you have something that lands over here, or some infantry, it's difficult for them to get to it, and you can protect it. They also put some VDV here, and probably a panic move, because I could have just rolled right into their base. It's not usually something I'll do, though. They did keep their BRDM-3 in a good position and shut his weapons off, so that's good. I commend them for that. Over here, I'm pushing up with some Motor Strauki, just to kind of see where things are. And I'm preparing another push to take the city back. I have a bunch of fire support ready. And I'm moving in. Over here you can see I did manage to kill one of the tanks there. Almost managed to kill another one. Come on, one more rocket instead. Here's the Su-27M. And this is such a common response. I don't actually know why he brought this out. You can't see any of the tanks. But I was ready with my PU. I wanted it dead. And I got the kill. It's a 200-point plane. He responded with another AA. I had a bad position, so my PU will go down here. But I did do a lot of damage to the Yak. And this guy actually rage quit after that. Which was interesting to me, because I thought he was doing just fine, considering the circumstances. He'd pushed into Delta. Although, from actually seeing it, you can see he had nothing in Alpha. So I could have pretty well rolled the rest of that game. I could have taken Delta and could have taken Alpha with minimal effort. I should have moved my BRDM3 up quite a bit. But other than that, that was my first ranked win. My KD was really pretty good. And overall, it was just a good ranked game. The advantage of knowing the map was huge.